it's me, Ruowen Huang. I'm always debating what I should talk about, but I think I'm gonna talk about insomnia first today. Let me, as you can see, I'm very spaced out. It's a thing to tell you don't go to bed too late because your brain actually don't function properly. Before I start, I actually got a couple questions in head. This couple of days I keep having people asking me, so what kind of psychic am I? You know what I mean? They would like to come to me for consultation, but they don't really know what I do, and they don't know what kind of service I provide. Be honest with you guys, I don't know it myself either. I don't know where to categorize myself. So my best definition is I always tell people, you ask question, I answer. So if you can, I don't know, if the question is within something I cannot answer, I literally would tell you I cannot answer it. So anyway, yesterday I have tea with a friend till really late, and she's laughing. She say, well, I always introduce you as Spirit Google. I say, okay, that doesn't sound right. She say, that apply to your personality, because you have a personality. If people don't ask, you don't answer. I say, that's true. And then I also have a personality. If you key in the Google and then that's not within my database, I tell you the page cannot be found. So anyway, if you guys want to know what kind of psychic I am, I guess that's type of psychic I am. You have question, I answer it. I'm not limited in medium. That means channeling. I'm not, because as I mentioned so many times, I'm a curious kid. Nowadays, people will probably call me ADHD just because I'm curious about everything. Therefore, I look into all area. But anyway, before I start, let's talk about insomnia. I have a lot of friends dealing with that kind of problem. They cannot go to sleep. They cannot actually put themselves to bed, or they always struggle to have a good rest, right? So that's also why I look into it. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I am an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. But if you come to me and ask me what I do, the chances I tell you I'm a graphic designer. You will not know anything of both. So that's my disguise. Anyway, back to insomnia. Yesterday we talked about, you would know, that's why I throw you guys idea. Yesterday I threw you guys a little bit idea about, body, soul, mind, right? Body, soul, mind. That is, throughout your whole life, your health is controlled by body, soul, mind. You have to find a balance of all three. That is also to say, during your day, let's say, if you draw your day as a big pie, and then you cut it into three, like this. A big pie, and then you cut it into three. How it works is, you will have a body, soul, mind. That is to say, your day, if it reaches balance, it should have equal share of this. That means if you use that, you will be able to sleep. Let me tell you why you'll be able to sleep. Because you are, when you're sleeping, it's basically your soul being recharging. You might still study tell you you're sleeping because your body got rest and things like that. Imagine yourself as an iPhone. Can you work 24 hours without charging? No. You have to rest. Where do you rest? Your mind goes shut down, you rest. This time, people tell you to rest. It's basically you're charging. You're recharging yourself. How do we recharge ourselves? And again, it's not necessarily sleeping. Sometimes you recharge yourself by something else. Now, here I'm going to tell you. A lot of times during the day, you must know you sometimes overuse your brain. You sometimes overuse your sensation. You sometimes overuse one or the other. You might even use too much of spirituality sometimes, right? A phone, you all know. Phone cannot run 24 hours without charging. If you overuse it, you have to charge it, right? sometimes throughout the day we're dealing with difficulty, and then we're dealing with question, and then we don't know how to deal with question. So where do we get answers sometimes? You know what I mean? Like we were so into our story, we don't even hear what spirit guide try to tell us. We don't even connect with the universe. We're so detached, literally detached, right? So what do? We go to the sleeping mode. That is, shut down this body, and then your soul can use this time to gather information, clue, or sometimes help. I would say help, right? And meanwhile, this body can get a full rest, full charge, so we can go on to the next day. The reason why people are dealing with insomnia based on what I might, as I say, I don't speak for everybody. I can only speak based on what I observe and study so far. I have very limited cases, right? From what I study so far is, most of the time people are letting their mind control their body. That means everything had to be logicalized. Everything had to have an explanation. Everything had to have a study proof. Their mind is so wrapped up by that, right? And then, therefore, like, I have to have 8 hours sleep. I have to have this. If I don't sleep, so they might continue going with that. Or sometimes their emotion overuse it. So therefore, what it does is try to take over the right from the soul. Like, you have no right to speak. I own your time. So what end up happening is they start to let all those information or sensation that accumulate through the day to take over the time. Right? The chances that situation usually will continue because, they are so used to this patterning, right? I have a call of you. My logical mind claim you, right? So you don't got to go to sleep. You don't got to connect with your soul because I call you, right? So I would say the most cause that I see from causing insomnia is because people let their logical minds controlling their whole being, the whole being. Therefore, it's have that resistance. You must realize there's a resistance. Even though your body is really tired, you want to go, you're like, no, I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep because the thing that's actually running in the back of your head, right? You are so used to let it run. Therefore, you're afraid to shut it down because that shutdown make you feel somehow, some way lose a sense of control. Because you're so afraid to lose a sense of control, therefore you will not give in. So your mind is always playing that battle. And then again, sometimes people don't really need 8 hours sleep because really, if you have a somewhat balanced mind, your body will automatically take up like 1/3 of the time to relax, right? Sometimes it could be a nap, sometimes it could be meditating, sometimes it's basically, what I try to say here is there's 1/3 of the time that where your soul find recharging. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm running out of battery. I'm overused this. I'm overused that. I need to recharge it, right? So that recharging is not necessarily happen only when you are sleeping. It happens sometimes when you're willing to spend some me time. If that explain it better. If you're willing to spend some time to, release, like if you're very aware, you're overthinking it, you sit down, have that meeting. Yesterday we talked about 3 people, body, soul, mind can sit down, have a meeting. That's kind of release that stress too. Or you sometimes do meditation, sometimes you do some kind of reading book or whatever you like to do to vent out and find that balance. That way basically will take over that 1/3 of the time too. So when people do that in regular basis or here and there, sometimes they don't need a full 8 hours sleep, right? They could probably just need a couple hours because what happened is they already have that regular charge throughout the day. So when they come to sleeping time, they don't really need a full one. They just need a little bit here and there. That's why you may also see why some older people, they don't need a lot of sleep. The chances they are more synchronized with their soul in some regard, right? Respect their being, understand their being, and then they find a way to release their so-called little stuff, right? That we sweat over with. So that's why their sleep automatically don't need that much. Because it's not like your body is getting older Really, in my perspective, it's just because you become wiser. You find a way to release yourself here and there. Therefore, you don't need a lot of sleep. So anyway, the cause of insomnia is usually one of your body, as I say. Later on, you will discover any kind of disease or disorder or things like that is some kind of the body imbalance. That means one of the part, one of you is off balance. In this regard, I would say the reason you cannot fall asleep, 80% of the chances is because your mind want to take control of your body. Your mind want to decide how this body should do, biologicalize, by try to maximize the use of it without giving it a break, right? But as I say, when you are sleeping, that is when you are so recharged, reconnected. Sometimes we get information through dream or communicating with a loved one through dream, because that's the time that we actually give up everything. If you haven't noticed, that means when you're sleeping, nothing matters. It's almost somewhat like a dead mode. Nothing matters. Only who you are as a being, that matter, right? That's why when you get into the sleeping mode, you cannot even control your body. The chances it bring you back to the origin, who you are, what you want to be, right? So anyway, if you are struggling through insomnia, you couldn't sleep, I have several ways you can try out. Not necessarily work, as I say. You can try it out. If you understand your brain or your emotion is taking over control of you. Everybody's different. For me, I have a patterning to tell myself I should go to bed. You know what I mean? My husband always laughs, but it's my patterning. I go with a bigger screen to the medium screen to the little screen, and then eventually I just fall asleep. I practice it for about a month. But then eventually, any habit take 21 days to break. That means, if you want to train your body, this is my patterning of going to sleep. 21 days, it will become a habit. So what I usually do is I would turn out all the sound because I'm sensitive to sound. Sound stimulate my brain. You know what I mean? Why to my husband, he can sleep through the noise. I couldn't. So what I did is I make sure there's no sound for me. So I can surf the internet, I will watch the article, but I avoid the thing that actually creates sound that stimulate my brain. Then I will change my iPhone. Usually it's go from TV, because my husband had to sleep. You go from TV, then I change to my computer, then I change to my ebook reader, right? Because you all know when you start doing the ebook reader, you have to read. You know what I mean? So pick a book that will help you go to sleep. So once I start go with that routine, it doesn't matter how fast, I can pretty much put myself to sleep. Like a kid, I can put myself to sleep right away. So anyway, today we're not talking about dream, but today I'll just give you guys a little bit idea of what insomnia really causes. Usually it's your mind or your heart is want to have a claim of you and not refuse to give your soul a break. That means refuse to give you time to recharge yourself. So instead of thinking about how you don't sleep, your sleep is really important. So I test out myself so many times, and I should know better, right? When you don't have full sleep, your taste bud is off. Your taste bud, really, that drives me crazy. Your sensation is off. If I use degree, I call they are 5 degree to 15 degree off. It depends on how much rest I have. And then my judgment is off. So you can already see in long run, it will influence all sensation. So if you notice that you tend to eat a lot of junk food, and you cannot stop yourself, the chances one of your senses off. As I say, your soul never really have a full rest, never have a full charge. So what it does, it detach from your body in some regard, right? That's why you continue feeling yourself the salty food and not really feeling it. The chances, if your body is very connected with your soul is very connected with your body, you would be like all those sensations would be so accurate. You would not allow those things to happen. So instead of thinking, oh, what other people say, you have to have rest, you have to do that. Later on, there are going to be so many benefits we can talk about. But right now, I'm just telling you, your sleeping time, that 8 hours of your day, is basically 1/3 of that we talk about. 1/3 of that time that soul should have to recharge itself, right? Not just soul, it actually 1/3 of party that need to be reconnected. Instead of thinking I need to sleep so I get a better day, just imagining yourself as a cell phone. You running whole day out of battery, you need to get recharged. If you don't charge yourself, then you cannot work tomorrow. Very simple. You know, we all know if we turn on the computer 24/7, what we went wrong, right? Computer go cuckoo sometime. So anyway, I hope that give you guys a little bit idea. So if you do have suffered through that, as I say, find a way to calm yourself from it, ease yourself from letting your mind and heart take control of it. The truth is, nothing matter. The time you go to bed, nothing matter anymore. It's just like death. Picture if you are dead, anything matter? Nothing matter, right? But if you have a good sleep, tomorrow is the next wonderful day. You can work on it. So whatever you have in your head, let it go. Practice to let it go. Just imagine if you are dying right now, would you still worry about this? No, you won't. You will only care about your own well-being. Try to practice to have that thought before you go to bed. Then you will really slowly learn to appreciate this body and give it the proper rest that you needed. So anyway, hope that answered the question. So till then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.